On May 23rd, Ethereum broke out above 2 weeks of tight sideways consolidation and reclaimed its 20-day moving average, as you can see right here. Now, initially, we saw some strength in the altcoin market and some leadership and relative strength in a few names. However, notice that the breakout failed. After just one day, the price fell short of the 50-day moving average and sold off with a failed breakout back to the lows of the range. And as we've mentioned before in the past, failed breakouts do have a tendency to trigger more selling because the people who bought the breakout get trapped when the breakout doesn't hold, which in turn attracts more sellers. So that's what we have going on here is that we had a couple days ago, again, the breakout in Ethereum. We started to see some nice setups in the altcoin market, but it was very short-lived. And we really are not able to get much follow-through in the market because of the downtrend that we have. And as you can see here, we've got the 50-day moving average converging with the downtrend line of Ethereum from the highs of April. So notice how right here in the 1880 area, we have the 50-day moving average, the red line, converging with the downtrend line. So that has now become a significant area of resistance. And notice that the high of May 23rd was just shy of that 50-day moving average. So on any rally attempt, keep a close eye on the 1880 level. It's going to be a little challenging to overcome that level. As for support, well, we have broken below towards the lows of the range here. We got support at 1742, which is the absolute low of the range from back in around May 12th, around 1742. Now, if we look at this horizontal price support, notice over here back in February that this actually was prior highs. So prior highs was resistance. Now, when we broke out above that, those resistance levels now become the new support. Again, a prior resistance level becomes new support after the resistance is broken. And that's what you can see here is that we broke out above that level and now we're coming back down into that support area. Now, although we normally do our daily scanning based on the daily time frame, it is important to keep an eye on the longer term time frames, such as the weekly chart. So what we're looking at here is Ethereum on the weekly time frame. So each bar is 1 week of price action. And the key that we notice here is that we have fallen below the 10-week moving average, which is this green line, but the price is still holding above the 20-week moving average, which is this blue line. Now, notice back here in early March, we actually came into support of this 20-week moving average and reversed, formed a bullish reversal candle off that support, which actually sparked an uptrend that lasted for another month. So will we repeat this scenario again? It remains to be seen, but definitely keep an eye on this 20-week moving average, which is currently right around the 1737 area. So that's just about 3 or 4% below the current price of Ethereum. So again, that's a more important significant support level than the daily chart that we showed is this 20-week moving average. Now let's take a look at the weekly chart of Bitcoin. You can see that it's also coming into support of its 20-week moving average, which is currently at the 25,602 level. And the price of Bitcoin is actually at 26,000. So again, just below the current price of Bitcoin is the 20-week moving average. And again, we can draw a horizontal line here to show the support on the weekly chart, which you can see very closely. There's a very significant support level right here around the 25,000 area. You can see here that this was prior highs back from July of last year, also February of this year. And again, that prior level of resistance has now become support, which is now converging with this 20-week moving average. So the good news is only about 2% below the current price. We've got the 20-week moving average, which again, just like with Ethereum, notice how Bitcoin reversed off support of its 20-week moving average back in early March and trended higher. Now, zooming into the shorter term daily time frame, we can see that unlike Ethereum, Bitcoin's already at the very bottom of its trading range. So Bitcoin's actually showing a bit of relative weakness to Ethereum, which is a positive sign for the altcoin market, although the divergence is not very significant at this point. So you can see here right around the 25,600 level, we've got this horizontal price support, which again is the 20-week moving average. So even though in the daily time frame we have the price below the 50, the 20, and the 10-day moving average, and the breakout failed, the good news is that on the weekly time frame for both Bitcoin and Ethereum, we are soon approaching support, which could spark a tradable rally. Now, normally in these videos, we highlight individual altcoins showing relative strength and individual trade setups. In fact, in our last video, we highlighted about 4 or 5 different cryptos that were on our radar. However, with this failed breakout that we saw in Bitcoin and Ethereum over the past couple of days, we're not seeing a lot of setups that look interesting at this point. So we're primarily just scanning the market, watching for new relative strength to come up. And in our next video on Friday, we will give an update on any relative strength cryptos that we see that are of interest.